Hello, welcome to the Wedding Chats. Thanks for joining us. Today we're privileged to have Mr. and Mrs. Ssenyoyi. Ssenyoyi and Fabrice got married a few months ago. We thought we'd sit them down and have a talk with them about their wedding, the preparations, their love story. Stay tuned as we get into it. Joel and Fabrice, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Congratulations on being married.
Well, thank you.
You finally got married.
Finally.
What do you mean, finally?
One would say it's
been a long time coming.
coming.
Yeah, finally. There's a time for everything. So there's a time to be single and enjoy that bit of life. There's a time to get married.
Some people tend to take a lot of time to make the decision. I have friends I won't mention on the air. What was that point for Joel?
You mean me deciding I need to get married? Incidentally, I thought I would get married at 25 when I was much younger, but I guess that was one of those fantasy dreams, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It happened when I was 33, and I'm glad it happened the time it happened. So here we are.
I've known you for some time. I always thought you were single. And then months to the event, you surprised us.
If while did this man know that that I was not single?
Well,
For
at
how
one
long?
point he got to know about that.
At one point, I like what you say. So Joel, why Fabrice? People have been asking. Fabrice, this woman who is not anyone on social media.
Wait, what? So I was supposed to go on social media and look for a wife? Why Fabrice? Well, why not? She's been my friend for donkey's years, since 2014.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to marry a friend, And with this one, we clicked Burunji. We would have our fights, then make up, then fighting, then, until I knew this one here is the one. And yeah, I popped the question and she said, "What have you been waiting for?"
Yeah, he says you guys knew each other from 2014.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When did you start
Dating.
When did
Well,
start looking at you different?
Just like he said, we've been friends from 2014 up to now. We are still friends, even though we are married. But sometime last year, I think he's been battling with it on the inside. I think he's been finding me attractive. For some reasons, I would see these good, acts. Would you come out for coffee? Would you take me out for lunch? A bit. He pushes himself a bit, extra mile for you. So, sometime last year, 2019, coming back to your question, he popped out the question, told me, "Fabrice, I think I'm madly in love with you. I can't live without you."
He can't live without you. Okay.
So that's how the journey began. I think sometime last year in February, end of February. Yeah.
That's when he asked you out.
That to be fair, because I call her Fame.
Call her Fame.
Yeah.
Short version of her name.
Maybe he had planned it for Joel.
Yeah. So you guys were side dating in Feb and got married the following year that's what
June.
In June.
One year and
a couple
Few
of
months.
months.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you say about for guys who take long to date?
And people like Jeff, some of you date and date until you become outdated. Time should come and you say, enough of these dating things, I don't know. So people ask me, for example, what's the ideal time? I don't know that there's an ideal time, and it cannot be a one size fits all. I know people have dated for 6 months and they get married. Others get married after dating for 10 years. I know people, I say, this is a miracle here. 10 years? What are you doing? But I think once people feel we have gotten to know each other, we have gelled properly, and we are ready, Zavike, why don't you get married?
You are ready, Zavike.
Hey.
Okay. It is a public secret. You have kept yourself pure for all those. You said 47 years?
And a half.
After your wedding, I saw quite a number of posts on Facebook from people, from believers like yourself, who thought that was huge, who thought they love that you stood to the truth, to purity and all that. Maybe something I would ask you to, what would you tell people, believers, young people who date for long and they're having challenges in that area to keep pure and stuff?
For the record, I'm not a virgin anymore.
Yes, you did the thing.
And she's responsible. Anyway.
Everyone knows she's responsible.
And you know, sometimes people talk about it as if it was easy. It wasn't entirely easy. But it's a decision that I took. And I prayed to God. I said, God, you've got to help me. The only person I have to sleep with is my wife. But I knew it would come with huge challenges. And I'm given the kind of person I was, the spaces I occupied, you know, so the attention is a lot more, and oh my goodness, the temptations numerous. But each time I would say, God, you've got to help me. We agreed now. You cannot let me down like this last hour. So it was a journey of faith. Really, really. I wish I could sit here and brag and be like, I did it, man. It was a journey of faith. It was a journey of constant work. Every day reminding myself, I've got to wait. I don't throw stones or judge, you know, those that, as we say, call it in church, fallen, or those that have had sex before getting married. But again, I encourage those who are doing everything they can to wait. To wait. It's possible. It's doable. It's not easy. Stay away from temptation. You know, sometimes we think, and especially Christians, think that when I get saved, become a ninja of sorts. My pastor liked to say that, look, when you get a block of butter and you put it before fire, if it is really butter, it will melt. If it doesn't melt, it is not butter, it is a block of wood, you know. So me, I'm flesh, and I used to tell people, man, my things work. So because of that, I would try as much as possible to keep away from temptation, and I would sit, I would flee like a problem. So it was tough, but thank God He enabled me to do it.
You flee from 2014. Okay. Fabrice, you married a public figure.
Oh, yes.
It brings you to the question of numbers. Ideally, I would think Joel would have about 800 people in his region. Then the wedding happens during the COVID time. How did you guys decide on the numbers?
Well, that was a tricky one, you know, having to bite a bullet, just like you always say. Coming to zero down to a few numbers. He has, oh my God, friends, family. He has a big family, I have a big family. Of course, he has a bigger family.
Are you saying in my family, they didn't practice family planning?
I don't know. That's a much of one. So what's we zeroed it down when we sat down together and we agreed that we're going to take active people in our lives, our family members, that immediate, and people who really we can run to anytime, anywhere, in case I have a challenge or he has a challenge, and those immediate friends. And it wasn't really easy. I would confess. Yeah, it was something challenging. It came back. People was feeling, I think I don't make this in your. I'm not this in your life. I'm not that. But well, we had to take it on.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you know, the wedding season can be funny, quite funny. The preparations, how challenging was it? Run errands in your wedding when you are working? There was curfew. There's a time when the cars were not allowed to move. How challenging was it for you?
Well, I would say on a scale of 0 to 10, I would say it was 7. Because now, as you have mentioned, that we're under lockdown and we didn't have cars. I mean, different activities of the society kind of came to a standstill. So it was really challenging. From the shops, bridal wares, to the cake people, to all service providers. But well, before we got into the lockdown, I'd sat with this might handsome husband.
Oh, no.
And and we had agreed, we zeroed down. We didn't want a lot of confusion of having a number of service providers, so we zeroed down to 3 service providers, and we knew that out of those 3 we would go for one. So given the circumstances, when we were called back to we were called to the lockdown in March, it became tight. Then I had to engage them on phone. They couldn't move. I had to. I got to use. We got to use technology. You know, do video call with them. They would set up for you. You see what you want, and then yeah, I in my heart I decided when I prayed about it, and I said, you know what, we'll use our friends, because we have good friends who offer good services, just like you, Jeffrey. And actually not good, good is way below excellent services. So I said now I should scrap out these 2 other service providers, and I remained with one. So that's how we came to
in this era, a bride has 2 weddings going on. There's one on Pinterest, there's one you guys pin boards. There's this one you've been always dreaming about since you were a child. And then there's the reality. Yeah. And now for your case, it happened during the lockdown. You know, how would you rate the wedding that you had? Did you think you had a dream wedding, one you thought you?
Actually, I did. I did. I'm not. How would I term it? I'm not too much of this fancy life and all that. So I needed something really simple but good. And truthfully speaking, I really had a good wedding. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I went all the way above 10, went to 100. Yeah.
10. Did the lockdown and COVID and all the drama that it came with affect your budgets? Positive or negative?
I would say it's a bit both, because in a way, some things, yes, were some prices were slashed way down, and others really went high because of the scarcity of people in the market. And for example, the bridal wares, they really just went up there, because it's either me or you don't have a choice. You know, your options are a bit limited in a way. And yes, for also the venues and you know, the food, you know.
Limited choices. But also realistically, COVID was a very tough time, especially the real lockdown situation. Yeah, we are still, you know, in a lockdown, so it's a number of things are not open yet fully. But that time it was proper lockdown, and finances were tight. You know, there was very little economic activity going on everywhere. You know, and for a wedding like ours, usually people will have meetings, people get to contribute and so on. You know, that was the time when you couldn't hold meetings. You can't begin to, I mean, people are going through stuff. I used to get very many calls from family, friends and so on, people asking for help. So now you can't be the one asking them now, contribute to me. They are the ones calling, asking, you know, and you don't have much either. So it was a very tough time, but God was really faithful. Really faithful. Absolutely. He outdid himself.
He outdid.
He sure did.
Like he did when dating a woman. After
Thank you.
Well, that's also part of being faithful.
Fabrice, we know how hard it is for ladies to choose a wedding dress. Briefly take us through your process.
But it was a real process, eh? So this, you know, like the way you walk into as a guy, walk into some boutique and that's the suit I want, measurements and so these ones.
I wish it was easy as this.
The first day they spent the whole day, I thought she's got a gown. After 10 hours out there, I came back, I don't have a gown. Said, what is this? Went back the following day. You tell us, what happened?
Just like he said, actually it is really a process. You know, there is that feeling when you put on these different gowns, when you try them on, there's that connection that is missing between a bride and her dress. You know, so those days when I went to look for a gown and I'll tell him, I didn't get one. Are you kidding me? You failed to get a gown? Oh no, That's what I would tell him. They can't work like this. I'm like, okay, we'll work like that.
I spoke with that accent.
So actually, I walked around, around some stores, and finally, when I went to Bridal World, I tried out a number of gowns, but still I wasn't connecting. But there is a specific gown that was hung in a corner. So the moment I walked in, I was like, I would like to try this gown. But the lady gave me other gowns. I'm like, no. After trying all of them on, and I'm like, you know what? I would like to try this gown. And the moment I wore it, it was magical. Like, I just connected with my dress. Like, I just felt it was a perfect fit. Even the excitement for the wedding came in. I'm like, yeah, can't wait to get married. My head, I'm thinking, okay, should I send him some pics? Should I not? There's that culture of he should see you.
Wow.
But for us, we chose to do everything together. I told him, I went with my niece and take a bit of pics. I sent to him, like, how do you find this? I was like, super. I didn't
like he knew better.
Like,
I had an idea.
it was really lovely. I just connected with I couldn't wait. Oh my God. Every now and then I would call them, my gown, is it ready? We're taking it for washing. Can I come for fitting? But like, okay, I'll wait.
Oh, connection. Did you connect with the suit?
What does that even mean?
You'll be fine. Only
I brought
ladies can
something if I'm
understand
comfy
this.
and so on. Connection.
It's only ladies who can understand this.
I didn't know there is that connection. Maybe there is,
There
feel at
is
peace
that
or whatever.
feel of, this is my dress, and I know for sure at the moment I wore it, everyone in my room like, yeah. Then the moment I walked out, like, my dress, yeah, it's just
Bless God for bridal work. Joel,
Sure, yeah.
men usually go for dark suits, neutral color. What inspired your maroon? So the maroon is like Suma.
I don't know, I did something different. I for the kind of work I do, much of the time I'm clad in suits and dark ones. In the time I was on TV, and now of course this. So I just wanted something different. I had to explore something different, and it worked. I liked this. So I went out to my best man and we went scouting. He knew a bit of he has a very good designer eye. He's a designer, matter of fact. So we tried out a couple of things, and so this material, it was good. And he had a guy who makes very good suits, so he did it and it worked. I was happy with it.
Oh. I asked on my Instagram a few weeks ago, the question that people would want me to ask you.
I can imagine.
Somewhere, wow. Some of which I asked before the interview started. But many of them really asked, how did you guys meet?
How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Please tell them how we met.
We met in church. we were in church. We WhatsApp at our church, Watoto Church. And so that's how, the first day I saw her, 2014. We were from some fellowship, and so we were leaving. And I see this girl. We had always seen beautiful girls around, I see this one and think, Nani huyo? This one. So she came, greeted some of the people I was with, and now me on the inside, as they are hardening, I'm like, sure, I'm not going to show my weakness that I have fallen. So I was there pretending hard word. As she was saying hello, she came to say hello to me. I even first pretended I'm not hard.
Things we go through.
Buddy guy. But we connected and we became friends at the very start. Like friends, just friends, even though I had this thing of, but this guy. So we became friends, every once in a while I would drop her at her place, and her brother kept noting a particular car. I'm sure he was thinking, but of course she'd be like, no, it's just a friend. And the brother is like, but that, you're the same friend all the time. It's my special
But you are
we connected. Good enough we became friends at the start. And it's easier that way. You first get to know each other without much strings
yeah.
attached. Yes, the feelings might be there, but we are friends. And then, so the friendship eventually upgraded, and it graduated.
I know. We can see.
Now she's the Mrs.
Ssenyoyi.
Can I be there and I'm also like have a wife?
Imagine Joel.
A beautiful wife.
Which take either.
What's the one that you used at the wedding?
I challenge you to say the word.
Altitudinous.
Altitudinous.
Altitudinous. You
Yeah.
altitudinous wife. Fabrice, you married to Mr. Ssenyoyi.
Oh yeah.
Spokesperson, people power.
And NUP.
NUP. I see you follow.
She's on board.
See you follow. Has your life changed in any way?
Well, I wouldn't
Oh,
say.
I saw a Facebook page or account in your name. So it's like, oh, so Fabrice.
There are
changed.
4 actually.
There are 4.
Yeah.
So has your life?
I don't open them.
Of course, I didn't open either of them. But yes, I would say my life has changed. Can't really remain the same. I'm now a married woman. I'm married to someone, and at times, how. Let me just give an example. How we used to move freely on the road. You used to, let me say, or laugh out loud, or get to do some bit of crazy things, and you don't mind because you're not known either way. Who cares? But now. You laugh carefully. You're like, is there?
Zinga laugh.
So that small example can really maybe a little bit answer that question. But yeah, it has changed. I'm married to him, full-time committed to him for life, and I need to be. He commands a certain audience. He commands a certain flow. So I cannot come and I act contrary to what he expects me to act, in the manner that he expects me to act in. And for that, it's not that I'm struggling, no, but I need to find a ground, because it's not actually, what's the word? He's not.
Don't use his hard words, please.
Okay. He's a free person. He's not always around. You do this. He's not a don't and do person. So he lets you gel freely. But even as you're spreading out, you need to be conscious, because the media is another thing really. They can really get to you, and then they misread or they misunderstand or even miscommunicate your intentions or your actions. And I've seen it on a number of events and cases on media. So yeah, it has impacted. I'm very careful. What I say, the environment around me, and yes, but I told him I will not throw my life away. For example, if I have to go downtown and get some,
but I also go downtown.
I'll go and get my things, and actually tell.
Not to protest peacefully, but also to buy 1 or 2 things if I need.
Yeah, but actually letting me know where I am. Like, I'm going downtown, so yeah. Of recent, I was downtown, and I thought, no one would recognize me really. So it's hard to recognize a girl who had makeup, and now the reality. So I'm like, okay. Reaching Chikobo, just crossing through to go down Navgabo. I was shocked when 2 ladies shouted at me, and they're like, Oyo mchala wa spokesperson, people power, Ssenyoyi. I don't know. I felt like the ground should open, and but well, I think I've got to live with it, and just had to wave back, calmly smiled at them.
Speaking of media, Fabrice, you know how they want to, did you, Joel, Fabrice, have had to call your exes that sign NDAs? Say, guys, are there people who think you are dating them?
Did you?
Because and we see a story tomorrow. Saying,
I know.
they thought you were married.
The stories would have come out by now, really. I don't know. People imagine many things. I had many interesting incidents, Remember years ago, there's a lady who she bought herself an engagement ring, put it on herself. She went around telling people I gave it to her. So some friends call me and say, "Hey, Joel, guy, you didn't tell us." I said, so they told me the story. I said, huh? You know, of course, there were many others who come saying that, you know, God is saying, God has said, you know, you're the one for me. And I'm like, but God and I are also talking terms. Not for me, I said, don't be. So there were numerous incidents and so on. I don't know. I hope sometimes I will not be misunderstood, misconstrued. I'm quite friendly and all of that, but I'll try. Hopefully, I will succeed in making it clear. You know, yeah, we're friends. So there's no room to imagine a lot more with many of these people. So yeah,
I know you haven't been married for a year, but
at least for a month.
Oh, wait, at least for a month or some weeks. Okay. You two married people. What have you found that works? What has worked for you? I'm speaking in terms of marriage advice. What do you think you can tell one Marcus Mularo or Mudeze Benjamin out there who has no idea what marriage is, who thinks marriage is overrated? Yes, it's like a good thing.
So you single men, including Jeffrey Sebakule, listen to a married man give you counseling, yeah? So you see, we who are in the marriage institution, marriage is good. Marriage is good. It's I know sometimes we imagine this mystery around it. It's normal life, you know. Especially if you marry somebody that you love, a friend, it becomes a lot easier. It's a transition. For me, I believe if you enjoy your singlehood, yeah, your time as a single person, you'll enjoy your marriage. There are people who singlehood is like a yoke, a burden they carry. And so they say, let me get married to get this yoke off of me. No, singlehood is a stage in life.
Process.
Enjoy that stage in life, and then when you eventually cross over, you'll enjoy that. But if you run to marriage just because you're running away from being single, you're crossing over for the wrong reason, so you'll have lots of challenges, you know. But enjoy your single life, but don't be single for too long. You know, Jeffrey, somehow you're there, you're 48 years old, but you get married now. Or but marriage is good. Get married.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sim. A quick one. What do you like about Joel? What do you love most about Fabrice?
Who's that? Let her start. Ladies first.
Oh,
you know, Jeff, let me teach you these things. You should always let the ladies start.
Wow.
You know, give them platform first. So.
Okay. Well, for starters, there are very many things I like about this gentleman. Very many. Yeah. But above all, I always told him I love the way he's passionate with his God. And for me, that's, you know. And the second thing is the way he loves me, and he's, oh my God, an intelligent guy. Like, I look at myself, at times I see him do this presentation, I'm like,
He's shocked that I saying he's intelligent, but go ahead.
No, he's not shocked. He wants you to believe he's shocked. So, and yeah, he's, for me, God first, then loving me, and yes, he's intelligent and loving, absolutely loving, and very true to his people, very true at all times.
I like how he's looking at you. I've never seen you that focused.
He's in love. I said out of the very many.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, it's this woman loves God, and for me that was important, very important. Because so she loves God. She's a beautiful lady. She's my friend. That's another very important element, because I wanted a friend, somebody that I'll connect with. You know, even when we have our fights, the long and short is that we are friends. So I beat them, I'm like, he my friend. They will come back and I'm pissed off, but you know, that gets back. She's my friend, you know. But she's also intelligent. I see her there doing her things of accounts here and what here. And I get confused, but I'm like, yeah, good for you. And then she also shares a lot of advice with the work that I do, you know, political world I'm in. I can be there struggling with something, and then she will think and pause and be quiet, and then she's like, but, and I'm like, wow, it's like a Rema word, you know. So she's such a helper, very deep alone. Yeah.
Joel, we thank you so much for allowing to sit with us. We are going to be finishing and ending this. If you have any parting shots, we'd love to hear them, and then we'll say bye to our people.
I don't know, what have we not said? We have told all the single people, you know, some of our friends who have refused to get married.
Like
Let me
Jeffrey.
see. Jeffrey Semakula, Benjamin Mudenje, Isaac Sewakut, and several others. There are others whom I don't want to mention. They will come and burn up my house. But marriage is a good thing. Don't be in a rush. You know, people put me in pressure for donkey's years, but I said I'll marry when I want, who I want. You know, because there was a line of girls that people kept lining up for me, and so on. And probably they were well-meaning, you know, whether it be elders and so on. And what, Joel, there's this one. At least go out for two. That, you know. But you make the decision when you feel ready, and not under pressure. But then again, don't wait for too long. Yeah. But also, I think it's important we appreciate people who helped us, you know, walk this journey.
Absolutely.
Family, friends. They were there for us in every way, every step of the way. So we knew we were not doing this alone, and it helps when you know that you have real good backup. Yeah. Also, thanks to our service providers
And our mentors too.
Okay, for service providers, yes, our mentors. We had these mentor couples that
like
counseled us.
They really reached out to us and they wanted to speak to us about marriage. And you know how you have a lot about marriage that you've heard as we are growing up, marriage is this, you don't do this, but they came out and made the air so clear for us. Like, it was pure oxygen.
Baby, don't talk to us about sex. Talk the things. Incredible people. So yes, all those people are very helpful. My best man, incredible guy, you know, he was my prayer partner he still is for a long time. An awesome guy, you know, our matron,
Yeah.
friends of ours, and all those different people that were there for us. Awesome. You know, of course, people look at the two of us and so on, but there's this force behind us, people that are doing
Tremendous, very good.
incredible work to add value to us and so on.
Very good.
Yeah, but especially for the day, we had amazing service providers. It was tough coming by service providers during that COVID time, you know, but we got a good venue. They didn't give us a hard time. Had a good decorator who was a friend of ours, welabireko. The MCs, crazy chaps. I used to do a lot of MCing with those guys, Ronnie Habasa Habzo and Brian Mulondo. House of MCs. I think they threw me out now that making noise in politics. You know, but incredible guys. The people that did photography.
I'm telling you, eh?
This is Jeffrey Semakula. People think they are jokers. Okay, yes, they are jokers,
These
but they are serious guys.
citizens.
You guys did an incredible job taking
Yeah.
those awesome snapshots.
That made rounds on social media, and I'm not on social media, so hey, when
This
he
one
comes
is
back,
my village.
when he comes back,
But it
I'm
is
like,
great.
let me have a look at what they're saying. Then I scroll through, I'm like,
Because this is how we work, the wedding.
yeah,
No
but
more help.
this is my husband. But I would like to actually thank, like he has said, our friends. Oh, very awesome. Oh, very good people. Yeah, and our service providers, guys. It's key to have good friends who offer good services, and yeah, for me, you besides as a bride, besides your gown, your makeup and hairdo, and your bouquet, the other thing should be your photography, because when we love pictures, we love to look.
Human is deep, Joel. Deep.
Because she has talked about Makula pictures.
Those are mysteries.
Oh, like you're going to look at your pic and you're like, wow, after these years, you tell your kids, you see our picture, they still look as perfect, as good quality, and other than some pictures like, money, we're going to carry in too, but.
Make sure you take another picture of her. I love this color.
Eric,
Oh, yeah,
will
you
take
do?
that next.
What color is this? Color is really nice.
I think Eric has had that. And the other thing is your decorator. For ladies, we love details. Interestingly, if I would tell you, Jeffrey, I just called this my friend Damali. I told her, Damali, Ivy's Deco. You're going to have to sort out my deco. Like, Damali, later after when we engage in a conversation, she told me, Fabrice, the person I know of you is, you need to know the detail. Like, you need to know how things should look like, should appear, where should it be placed, which vessel should go where. So she told me it was such a task for me. But I just told her I believe in you. You will pull this on, and she really did. She last moment tell you, Damali, you're going to do this, and yeah, I'm up for it. Then yes, of course, a venue, a one-stop center. We got a good venue. Those people were lovely at Hotel Africana. They really provided us good services. And then my bouquet, oh, my friend Bambi. Like, my friends really came through.
Is that how they say it?
So they really came through my bouquets. Ssenyoyi had I always loved a fresh bouquet, not these plastics. So I also just had to give it away to someone, like my good friend. Nawe. So yeah, but for all in all, yeah, her wedding must be coming up shortly. Now that she got
those things work, eh? I don't know.
She has a man or get Eric.
Eric Chikomeko. Eric's wife will beat him.
Oh, Eric is married.
Don't joke around. He's a married man.
No. She has a boyfriend. Eric
Chikomeko is a serious man, meanwhile. For those of you who think it's just a joker, okay, he's a joker. All right, yeah. So this has been great. Thanks a bunch for hosting us.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.